In our second teaching on day 16, we're going to shift our attention to our belief systems. And it's important that we hold what we call facilitating beliefs that support us in our intention practice and in achieving our desideratum. And there are many belief systems that are prevalent in society today that are not particularly facilitating, and we're going to focus on one today. And in short, you could call it the have, do, be system. And we're going to use money to illustrate. So when you have enough money, you can buy a house, that's doing, and then you can be secure or feel secure. It's conditional on having something like money. Now, why is it that it's so easy to believe this? Well, one is because when we focus on the physical realm alone, that top 10 to 20%, that's the way it looks. That's the way we experience it with our five senses. It's also how our fast thinking function is prompting us to believe. Remember, it likes to tell stories, it likes to create stories. And with that storytelling, it is wanting us to feel safe. And these stories are most easily developed when our fast thinking function calls in evidence from the physical realm. And remember, it's very selective in what data it focuses upon. So quite naturally, our survival selves are focusing us on this belief system that's very linked to the physical realm. Now let's look at why that isn't true. We are taught to believe that money is something we earn and receive for doing. Remember our child's allowance system. Very conditional. However, there are many people who receive enormous amounts of money for doing very little, or at least relatively little compared to the amount they earn. Celebrities, sports stars, many examples, and this is the evidence you can start to collect for yourself when you look around. Use your senses, use your thinking function, and just examine how many people receive and have a lot of money that did not work hard for it. The amount of money they receive is not a function of how hard they work. What is the truth is that the income, the money that they have drawn to themselves, at least in some cases, comes from who they are being. It comes from their beingness. So let's look at spiritual leaders. Let's look at His Holiness the Dalai Lama, Mother Teresa. Any spiritual leader like that you can imagine and connect with, how you interact with them on the level of being. And they are money magnets. They may not keep the money themselves, but people love to give them money or their causes money. Similarly, movie stars. The best movie stars, we go and watch those movies because of who they are able to be while they are acting. And the same with hockey players, baseball stars, football heroes. They all are being in a certain way that draws money to them. So in our intention practice, we want to shift our belief system to acknowledge that it's who we are being that is going to serve our desideratum. We don't have to start with anything except who we be, and that is our inner container. So if we go back to this fabulous picture of Atlas here, holding up the celestial sphere, where the celestial sphere is our desideratum, it's his beingness that is holding that up, and that's what we want to create within ourselves. And then you radiate. You absolutely radiate, and things are drawn to you. So don't hold yourself back if you're stuck in this have, do, be paradigm. And here's another example. This is a story I heard Neil Donald Walsh tell. It's just an example. This is a picture from the Plumbers Guild in Germany. It's a story of two plumbers, and I'm sure if you think of your town where you live, and you could use plumbers, you could use doctors, you could use chiropractors, you could use massage therapists, it doesn't matter. But you've got, let's just say, two plumbers. And one plumber is always very busy, and the other plumber struggles to get by, and they both are equally reasonably good plumbers. So it's not how they do their plumbing work. What's different between the two of them is that one plumber smiles, is always on time, comes with a zest for life, asks about his customers, how they're doing. They're just, in general, just a delight to have around. People want to be in their presence. And the other plumber is grumpy. He doesn't talk much. He looks sour. And you just don't feel like being around him. Well, no wonder the fellow who is so uplifting and buoyant is the one that people call on. He might even charge more money. It's because of who he's being. It's not necessarily because of the quality of his plumbing work. So reflect on that and see how you can infuse more and more that sense of who, the wonderful beingness of who you are into your inner container.